Tonight, we continue our Catholic in America series you'll see only on EWTN News Nightly. In our exclusive poll conducted by McLaughlin and Associates, we asked Catholics about their views of the Catholic Church and American politics. Tonight's segment looks at how U.S. bishops have handled allegations of clergy sexual abuse, and it's not good news for them. In a poll of 1,000 Catholics taken last week, we asked how the Pope, bishops, and local church have handled allegations. More than half, 56%, said bishops have done a fair or poor job. 33% said they've done an excellent job. In contrast, Pope Francis, local dioceses, and local priests are given higher marks. Let's break it down. For Pope Francis, 53% say excellent. 37% say fair or poor. At the local diocese level, 43% say excellent, 38% say fair or poor. And for local priests, excellent is 49% and fair or poor is 31%, meaning Pope Francis receives the highest marks for excellence in handling the sexual abuse crisis. And the sector that takes the biggest hit for the crisis, U.S. bishops. Our next guest has a message for them. Joining me now from Washington, D.C. is Arthur Brooks, president of the American Enterprise Institute and a respected voice on Catholic issues. Arthur, welcome back to the program.
Great to be with you. Thank you for having me.
You've written about the betrayal and anger felt by the laity over these church scandals, and you say, quote, the bishops should open themselves sincerely to confrontation. What needs to happen to repair this relationship?
Well, thanks for asking. You know, one of the things that we all learn when we're doing marriage prep, when we're getting ready to get married, is that we shouldn't shy away when we love somebody from anger. Anger is an attempt to heal a relationship, to say something is not right. Well, there's almost a marital relationship between the clergy and the laity. And there's anger from the laity, there's suspicion, there's a sense of betrayal that's coming in. And so shying away from it or simply trying to bat away the anger of the laity to change the subject is really dangerous, just like it would be with a married couple. Well, the reason for that is, according to social psychologists, that when you don't confront anger, that it tends to be, disgust enters, and that can ruin a relationship.
You know, you in this same piece in the New York Times compare the betrayal by Catholic clergy to a spouse committing adultery, and you received a lot of criticism for this. Why do you think that analogy works?
I think it works because there must and should be love and trust between the clergy and the laity. It's a sacred relationship. They're not just our pastors. They're the ones who are, helping us to be redeemed every day. And, this is something that spouses are supposed to do for each other as well. And when trust is destroyed, that's what leads the other spouse away. And so confronting this relationship and the anger that exists and the suspicion and confronting it sincerely is the most important thing that can happen right now.
You often speak about the need for civility in our public discourse. How can we as Catholics have the frank discussions needed for church reform and maintain our civility?
Well, part of the thing that we need to remember is that as Catholics, there's never any call for us to treat anybody as our enemy. We have no enemies. We should treat no one with contempt, because Christians are not supposed to treat other people with disgust and contempt. We have a call to treat everybody with love, and in so doing, we can exercise our apostolate, even when we disagree with somebody. By the way, I'm not saying we need to agree with somebody who we think is incorrect, but disagreeing with love is really the Catholic difference. That's how we bring persuadable people toward us. We make ourselves more winsome. How we exercise our apostolate, even in spite of disagreeing with other people. It's an opportunity.
We've been reporting on the synod underway in Rome, and the church is grappling with this sex abuse scandal from around the world, but the focus of the meeting is on young people. You converted to Catholicism when you were a teenager, so How do you think the church needs to convince young people to invest in their faith?
The most important thing is to have people understand that the church is paying attention to the problems that young people are facing in an orthodox and yet very sincere way, to not shy away from the forces that are driving people away from organized religion in general. There's so many young people today that say that they're They're spiritual but not religious, which is a real problem for the church, because the church as a religion is the greatest institution in the history of the world. And to say all of the reasons that this will bring people to greater happiness in spite of all the forces that drive them away from it in the modern world today.
Before we let you go, you've announced you're stepping down as president of AEI next summer and returning to academia, this time at Harvard. As you help mold the next generation of leaders, what message do you hope resonates with them the most?
Well, young leaders today have to understand that they have an opportunity to change the discourse in a fundamental way, that they can bring people together not through mushy agreement and certainly not through treating other people with contempt, but we need a new generation of people to understand that it's warm-heartedness and even love for others that truly will bring the country together with a competition of ideas. That's what I'm going to try to bring. I think that's the secret to aspirational and visionary leadership. That's what we need for the church, that's what we need for the nation, and what we need for the world.
Arthur Brooks, president of the American Enterprise Institute, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Lauren. Great to be with you.